So I want to ask you, what does health mean to you? I think many people, when they stop and think about it, they think health is, being a certain size or weight or fitting into clothes. Maybe even if you think about health for your family, it's eating organic food and having, veggies and fruits on your snacks and stuff like that. Or a lot of times we think health is the absence of disease or problem. So if I'm not taking medication, or if my child is not having anxiety attacks, then that means they're healthy. And that's common, right? So take a couple minutes here, or a couple seconds, and think about, how do you define health?
Yeah, I mean, Amanda and I, we used to define health as eating organic and working out. And that's how Western society in general defines health until a few years back when our daughter started having seizures. It ended up being one of the most difficult times in our life. I mean, look at our little girl in that picture right there. It looks like it's a girl sitting there on the couch with her dog and with her stuffed animals just sleeping. But what you don't know about that picture is she just had 5 seizures in a row, and that was the first time that has ever happened to us. And so Amanda and I were petrified in that situation there, and so we were really forced to take a hard look at what health was and redefine what it is, just for the sake of our little girl.
Yeah. So through that process and through helping her heal and our journey, we have redefined what health is, and we look at it in these 5 main components, right? So the first is knowing how to recognize your body's signals, because it's awesome. Our bodies never make a mistake. And when we can learn to pay attention and recognize the little signals and the whispers that come up, that's like the fastest way to head off real problem and avert major imbalance and really disease and challenge in our lives. So first, we look at being able to not only recognize but identify the signals that are coming from our body. The second part of health is knowing what the 5 essential nutrients are that every single human body needs to work and to function well. Because think about this, your body is constantly regenerating. New cells are created, millions of new cells are created every single day, and they replace old cells. And what are those cells created with? Well, they're created with the materials that we eat through our food and our water. So when we put high quality food into our body and we know what food is necessary to make those new cells, that is just like having an Aston Martin engine as opposed to an old beetle bug inside and the internal workings of your body. So those 5 essential nutrients, knowing what they are to work well. And then the third part in terms of redefining health is understanding the important balance of activity and downtime and how those 2 things play off of each other. And really, you need to have both in your life. Sometimes we get so caught up or kind of focused on one and not the other. And that key is crucial for health. The fourth thing we take a look at is cultivating love. Got a little chime there. Loving and connected relationships in our lives. Relationships with people that truly understand you, appreciate you, and can just fill you up. And that is so important of attracting that and having that in your life. And finally, that 5th part to redefining health is to believe it is possible. Really that sense of optimism and faith and that belief that, life will throw you challenges, hard things will come your way, but even through those challenges, there is an opportunity to grow and to learn. And when you believe that things can work out and things are possible, you're not limited by what you experienced in your past. Oftentimes we limit ourselves and we say, well, maybe I've tried that once or twice, or I've never seen it yet. Just because you haven't seen it yet, or you haven't succeeded at doing something yet, doesn't mean you should limit your belief that it will ever be possible for your future. Because the reality is, when you change your perspective, when you change the people you surround yourself, and you change the support that you do have new opportunities in your future. So those are the 5 things that we look at and how we have redefined what health means for your family.